Hi, I'm Alexander, and today we will set up CI in GitHub. As you know, CI means continuous integration. In short, build. Automatic build of our code. This is a useful feature in continuous development, because you are creating the code time to time, then you push it and start a new task. QA engineers start to test it, and then you repeat this small cycles every some period of time, every task, every week, or so on. And without CI, it will be difficult to find some issues, because sometimes the code could build fine on your local computer, but it will not build on the server, because on the server we have different CPU architecture, x86 or ARM, and so on, or we have different configuration. Also, I faced some situations when code could build fine on Intel processors, but we have issues with AMD processors. Even when you have a bit different environments, some library or maybe Windows version another, and it also could be a cause of problems with build of your project. And with CI, you will know about any issues as fast as possible, and you will need to fix only 1-2 issues. And without CI, it's possible that you will face it with hundreds or even thousands of issues, which will take a lot of time to fix. Also, let's continue. In the GitHub CI CD called actions here, as you know, already we have committed some code. Exactly, it was a Blazor application. And go to actions and create a new workflow. Here, let's search. We see some predefined template. You can read the description. Also, one important thing here is that it will use Ubuntu, Linux, to build our project. Also, as we know, there is two major operating systems, Linux and Windows, and they have some difference. Also, let's start with Linux. At the beginning, we don't need to change anything. We just need to give some name to our YAML file, which will contain all the code which we will use to create CI. And commit. There are some pros and cons when you use YAML, but the benefits of using YAML is that it is committed directly into our repository and available always in Git. And as you see now, the build started automatically. And as you could see, the build process was failed. To check the exact issue, we need to jump inside, and here you will see an error. Also, we cannot expand, and here we see all the steps which our build process will execute to successfully finish the task. Okay. It cannot find a solution file. And let's go to the code and check why. By default, it's tried to find in the root. And as you can see, it's absent. Also, we have one folder, and inside it, it's also a solution file. Let's change. our action. Sorry. Good. Where? Here you can see .NET restore, and that is just a regular .NET command, but we need to add a path. Okay, let's check. Also was failed, but I think the problem is another. Look, now we have problem here in the .NET build. .NET restore finished successfully. Also, let's apply the same change to the next command. .NET build. And as you can see, we already did some copy paste. And that breaks the dry approach. Also, we can add variable. And let's use this variable. Also, we don't have tests, also we can delete this command. Let's wait. Cool. Our build was finished with success. I'll show you how it looks. Nice. But what we need next? Of course, we want to save our results here somewhere. It's called artifacts. When we have a build and everything what we need after the build called artifacts. And then we need to save it to some storage. We will use GitHub. To save artifacts, let us exist a separate task, action. And let's add this action. And this is the name of action. And with this name, now we will set a name which will be available later in our deployment or other tasks. And path, from which folder we want to take our artifacts and save inside GitHub allocation. Cool, but we missed one important thing, that we haven't created this artifacts folder. To do this, we need to add one more action. And which called publish. Because as we know already, to deploy the Blazor application, we need to publish only server project. which will create all the things you need to deploy and successfully run your project on some environment. And .NET command also called publish. And then we need to set a path to our server project. Let's check where is it located. Lesson, server, and here. And the name of project file. And I forgot the output artifacts. Also, this command publish will do a publish of this project and save it into artifacts folder, and then this action will take this folder, the content of this folder, and save it somewhere within GitHub, and then it will be available, this artifact, by this name. Okay, and let's wait while it will finish. Nice. Also, as you can see, the total duration took about 2 minutes. And let's check what took so much time. Restore build was quite fast, publish took, and just copy artifacts to the artifacts folder. Good. And here you could see one artifact. And here, when you press it, it will download, and you can open it on your computer and check what was exactly which files are inside. And you don't see a lot of files. Yes, this PDB files that is for debug. They could be deleted. So we are interested just in this server and app settings JSON. And of course www root, because all the scripts, CSS files and images and other resources exactly for front end will be located here. This is also not necessary for deployment, as I remember. Good. And also we miss some important things. Let's back to our YAML file and check the .NET version. Yeah, it will try to build with version 6, but our project used .NET 7. Also, we need to change the .NET version to 7. And one important thing that previously I have added this section in project file, publish single file. Without this line, you will get a lot of files which you need to deploy. What is the difference with a single file and true and false? With single file, as I mentioned before, you need to deploy just one folder and these two files. And as in most cases deployment use FTP, also less amount of files you could copy faster using FTP than big amount of files when we are speaking about the total same size. And also you could add some more settings to your publish. And one of them is self-contained. It means that it will add all the necessary .NET framework dependencies into your folder, and you could deploy your application to any computer, and without thinking about which .NET version was installed and so on. And also, but when you use this approach, you also need to add runtime, because for different runtimes, Linux, Windows, or macOS, different DLLs will be added. It also depends on the architecture, x64, ARM, and so on. That set of files will be different. Let's have a look how it will look like. Finished successfully, and let's open it. The first thing you could acknowledge is that total duration increased. Why? Let's check. Restore dependencies, build, publish, and upload artifacts. All of them took a bit more time because the amount of files increased, because it have added framework dependent files. And also it could be a situation that you don't know where are you located in this file, in which situation you face it. Maybe you need to check some files during the runtime process or the build or so on. Let's say show you what you can do. Also, we forgot to put here .NET 7. You could use any bash command here. For example, sorry. I put a vertical line and apply the commands you need. Let's wait. Finished, and here echo and ls command have shown exactly what is located in. Also, we have spent about half an hour, and we got 6 tries to complete, but previously I spent a lot of time, I spent years, and to work with GitHub, it was some challenge to me, because in most cases I have experience with Azure DevOps. And we almost finished. Let's do one more action, but for Windows, because it has some difference. In Azure DevOps, we don't have any differences. For example, if we have created a YAML file, it doesn't matter for Windows or for Linux will you build it always use PowerShell to execute your commands. But in GitHub, for Linux and macOS builds, it use Bash, and for Windows it use PowerShell core, and the syntaxes will be different slightly, but the difference exists. I already prepared. Also, what is the difference? The first difference is here, run on Windows latest. As of now, it uses 2022 server edition. And how we need to apply variables, you could see that is a default PowerShell syntax. All other things are the same. Let's wait a bit. Finished. We have created artifact, the same size, and let's compare time. It took about 2.5 minutes on Windows and 3 and more minutes on Linux. Thanks. That's all. Have a nice day.